Welcome to Q&A Thursday, where you guys ask me your questions and I do my best to answer them. This week's question comes from Heather, and she asks, how can I actually close the deal? Heather, I totally get it. I have been in your position too, where you're on an exploratory or interview type call with a client where you've given it your all and you're like, all right, let's do this. Are you ready to sign? And then crickets, they disappear. Closing the deal is probably one of the most important parts of your exploratory call. Because if you don't do it right, there's a great opportunity that the client either won't come back to you, will ghost you, or will forget about you. And we don't want any of those things to happen. We want you guys to start working together immediately. So here's my suggestion, and it's a pretty simple but effective one. Once you're done with your exploratory call, and if you're unfamiliar with that term, that is when you and a prospective client get on a call together and you discuss things like your services. You ask them questions like, why are they seeking a VA? What sort of needs do they have? When you guys have really talked about the details and you get a good sense for, is this a good fit or not? What I want you to do is end the call with a very simple phrase. And here it is. I'm really excited to start working with you. I'm going to send you a contract with the details that we've discussed on the call today. And once you've signed it, we can get started together immediately. That's it. Sometimes having the most simple phrase of, I'm really excited to get working with you, let's get started now, is enough to jolt a client into action. What I don't want you to do when you end the call is end it on a kind of a low note. If you've ever ended a call before where you're just like, okay, yeah, well, this was great. Thank you so much. And hopefully I'll hear from you. I've done that too before. And what usually ends up happening is that a client will say, okay, I'm going to think about it. And then 3 days go by and 5 days go by, and then they get busy and then they casually forget to email you. And all of a sudden you're sending them a follow-up and chasing them down. I don't really want you to try that anymore. I'm going to challenge you, and it might feel uncomfortable, but I'm going to challenge you to be a little more aggressive. And when you use that phrase, I'm really excited to work with you. Let's get started. I'm going to send you a contract. Once it's signed, we're ready to hit the ground running. It's that kind of momentum that you want to carry into action. So once you've had a great call, you're jazzed to work with this person genuinely, just carry that momentum forward and you're like, let's go. I'm sending you the contract now. Let's go do this. Let's get started together. I really, really, really often find that language alone is enough to keep the client going. Oh, thank you so much for sending that question in. I love this question. If you can't tell, I'm super hyped about contracts and closing the deals. Hopefully this was a helpful video. If anything, I hope it gets your wheels turning. If my language is too aggressive for you, and I want you to be authentic to yourself and the business that you're building. So maybe even think through ways that you can keep that fun, forward-moving momentum going that still feels true to you.